Your star running back had 2 fumbles. Your quarterback had 3 interceptions, and you were actually in the game. Who knows what would have happened if Boise State would have took care of the football. But he shouldn't have won the Heisman. That got proven tonight. And also, he's not special. I don't know why people were so infatuated with him winning the Heisman. Actually, I do know why. I take that back. It's because they saw these box scores and they saw all these like ESPN, they talked about how they was force feeding Travis Hunter to the media. They were force feeding Ashton Jeanty down everybody's throats. They talk about, oh yeah, Ashton Jeanty had another 250 yards. Jeanty had another 200-yard performance. Ashton Jeanty's got 8 200-yard rushing performances. Who cares? Why don't you add some more context, ESPN, you dorks and you nerds? I'm talking to you. Here's what they didn't tell you. Number 1, he ain't playing anybody. I might swerve up in the corner, whoa. Have y'all heard that new LeAngelo Ball snippet, song, whatever you want to call it? I ain't gonna hold you. I've been singing that all day. I might swerve up in the corner, whoa. It's like some, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a catchy song. Like some song I heard on NBA Street Volume 2. By the way, what you know about NBA Street? Nothing. I gotta take the, Matt, buddy, take the hood off. You're in the house, don't be a hoodlum. I'm not a hoodlum, don't worry. I just had the hoodie on because it's a little cold inside. Well, upstairs at least. That's a little bit better. Act a little professional for once. Guys, before I even get going, I'm gonna write down a stat. A fun fact. We're going to start the video with a good old-fashioned MBG fun fact, whether you like it or not. And I promise one of these days, it may not be this year, because I don't like the way the red looks either. I'm going to get another black Expo marker. We got to keep grinding, and maybe we can make that investment in the channel. Got to keep working hard. Don't worry, I got a lot to say. That was like a goose egg. Now, I know exactly what you're sitting there wondering. Matt, what in the crap does this represent? 5-0. Well, nothing crazy, right? Like it doesn't have anything to do with any of the playoff teams, but it has everything to do with me. Your boy Matt is 5-0 in his first ever 12-team college football playoff bracket. Not a big clap, but nice little golf clap. Nice little golf clap for the people that say that Matt doesn't know ball. 5-0, I am undefeated. And after Texas destroys Arizona State tomorrow, I will be 6-0. And I'm actually going to do a preview video tonight. I'm going to try to upload it early tomorrow for the Georgia Notre Dame game and the Lowbro State and Oregon game. So I'm not going to spoil that. But I do got Texas winning Arizona State. Not going to do a preview for that. Now, what we're about to get into and talk about is, move my microphone in my pocket. You know, the fighting Ashton Jeanty. They came up short. They got beat by 17. Oh my gosh. Do you really want me to sit up here and act like I'm shocked? Oh my goodness. I can't believe Ashton Jeanty didn't look that great. I can't believe Boise State lost by 17. That's just hard to fathom. Come on, man. I'm not going to do that. I told you in the Bama reaction video. I'm sure if you're watching this video, some of you saw that. I told you, come on back later tonight, we're going to react to Boise State losing Penn State. I've been saying it for weeks and weeks and weeks. I stated it and in the bracket video when I filled it out. Penn State's going to destroy SMU, and they're going to destroy Boise State. They just got hand-wrapped gifted a spot into the, not even the quarterfinals, but the semifinals, the 14 playoff. It was an easy 2 wins. Now, with that being said, you still got to go out there and win the game. And I'm going to do this. I'm sure this won't be the only time I do this. Penn State, you are irrelevant on the grand schemes of college football. But this is a really good team. My apology. I was going to say one of, can you really say they're one of the best teams in college football if they're irrelevant? I don't know. But they are a really good team. I love everything they're about. Hard-nosed, physical, Big Ten football. But also, what has taken him to another level is James Franklin has never really had, and I hate to even go this far, label Drew Allar as a great quarterback because he's not great, but he does show flashes of greatness. He's right below, I think he's better than good. Okay, well, no, it's not complicated. We'll just throw him in the really good category. Yeah. So he's not good. No. That's not giving him enough credit. He's not great. That's too much credit. But he's really good. And you could argue and say he's had a better season than Quinn Ewers. Quinn Ewers has struggled this year. But we'll see what happens in that Arizona-Texas game. I don't know if some of you saw it. Arizona State's quarterback was talking crap. He said he's better than Quinn Ewers, straight up. And Quinn Ewers just kind of laughed it off. Classy look on Ewers' part, but he's a competitive guy. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Back on track with Drew Allar and Penn State. What's really held Penn State back is whenever they've gotten to a game where teams like Ohio State, whoever, has shut down the run, quarterback can't go out there and win the game. Now, they've had some decent quarterbacks previous years, but I would just feel like Drew Allar, he's on their level. And you know who he reminds me of? A.J. McCarron. I always felt like A.J. McCarron never got the respect he not only deserved but earned. I mean, he won 2 championships, and he was not just he was the token boy of game manager, and people viewed it as a bad thing, but McCarron could go out there and win games. And I think the same thing can be said for Drew Allar. Now, Drew Allar didn't play the best game of his life tonight, but there's just some throws he makes, like those first couple of touchdown passes. You want to talk about, they weren't heat-seeking missiles, but absolute dimes? Those were dimes. I couldn't believe, because I'm on Twitter during the games, people weren't talking about those throws more. And I'm going to keep talking before I get into a whiteboard. Drew Allar, love his game. I love this Penn State team, contrary to belief. Now, if you're new around here, because I sometimes forget, we got new people watching these videos, come to the channel every single day, you're probably kind of confused. Well, Matt, sounds like you're praising them, but a minute ago you just said Penn State's irrelevant. What's that? What is that about? Sorry, tongue twister. Fumbling my words. I say Penn State is irrelevant because they can't beat the big boys. When it comes to top 10, top 5 matchups, what is James Franklin? Is he like 1-20? It's something terribly atrocious. Can't win the big time games. I even saw, when was it? Who did Penn State lose to? It was the Ohio State loss. His own fan base was like, fire James Franklin. At the game, I saw students in the student section advocating for them to fire him. Think about that, guys. This is a team that is in the playoffs, and the fan base is sick and tired of him losing big-time games. But that is the beauty of James Franklin. Stated in the playoff video, they're going to cruise past SMU. They're going to steamroll Boise State. Boise State ain't that. All right. And I'll touch more on them in just a second, but you get what I'm saying. They're going to cruise past these two teams. Why? Because James Franklin is excellent, and I mean is excellent at winning the games he's supposed to. Nobody's better at winning games he's supposed to win than James Franklin. However, the downside of Franklin, and it's his kryptonite, games he's supposed to lose, he always loses. And that's what drives the fan base crazy, because if you can't get over the hump, it's kind of pointless. Like, what is the point of going 10-2, 10-2, 10-2, 9-3, 11-1 every single year if you can't get over the hump, if you can't win the big game? We sit up here and talk about, Ryan, dang, Ohio State can't win the big game? Penn State, no. Like, Ohio State can't win the big game. That's a fact. It's not my opinion. Somebody knocking on my door? Hold on, guys. See no one down there. Oh, it must have been fire. Oh, that's what it was. I'm forgetting. People shoot fireworks on New Year's Eve. Kind of early for that. I guess it ain't early. I heard the big, like, boom, boom. I was like, what is, who knocking at the door? Kind of find out, it must be fireworks down here. Sorry for the interruption, but, that's what you get in a MattBeGreat's video. I think it might have been out here somewhere. Imagine one just comes straight at the window. Boom! MattBeGreat blown up in live reaction video. I already got the title. But getting back on track here, what I was saying, what was I talking about? Oh yeah, James Franklin, long story short, can't win the big time games. Hey, Good news is for Penn State, your first 2 games in the playoff, I mean, you just got a cakewalk to the semifinals. So there's not a lot to be proud about. However, there is something to be said for taking care of business. I feel like I touched on everything. Oh, no. I haven't touched on everything before I get into the whiteboard. You know I'm going to bring it up. I should have actually started the video by saying this. I told you. I told you so. I'm not a Jeanty hater. I think he's a good running back, but that's all he is. I've been trying to tell you. The entire year, have actually stated, I thought the best running back in college football was and is Dylan Sampson at Tennessee. I already know some people's going to say, well, Matt, Dylan Sampson didn't do anything against Ohio State. He was hurt in the game. He only had 2 rushes. The entire season, I had Dylan Sampson as RB1. I don't even know if Jeanty would be RB2, but I have no problem putting him at 2. I just thought Dylan Sampson was that good. And I've been trying to tell all these casuals, and they finally got a hard dose of reality tonight. Ashton Jeanty is not anything special. He's good. Give him credit for being good, but he shouldn't have won the Heisman. That got proven tonight. And also, he's not special. I don't know why people were so infatuated with him winning the Heisman. Actually, I do know why. I take that back. It's because they saw these box scores, and they saw all these ESPN, they talked about how they was force-feeding Travis Hunter to the media. They were force-feeding Ashton Jeanty down everybody's throats. They talk about, oh yeah, Ashton Jeanty had another 250 yards. Jeanty had another 200-yard performance. Ashton Jeanty's got 8 200-yard rushing performances. Who cares? Why don't you add some more context, ESPN, you dorks and you nerds? I'm talking to you. Here's what they didn't tell you. Number 1, he ain't playing anybody. Imagine what any SEC or Big Ten running back at that from the past 10 years. Imagine Quinshon Judkins, all right, one of the better running, or Travion Henderson, Ohio State's running back, 1A, 1B, playing Boise State competition out west, right? I mean, you're playing, who are you playing? The Idaho Fighting Potato Wedges, Idaho State, these beyond just terrible teams. You're playing not good competition. But to go on top of that, right, I think Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson, either one, 1A, 1B, could get 200 yards on probably 20 carries a game. You're talking about averaging 10 yards per carry. But here is the kicker. Ashton Jeanty was getting like 35 carries a game. 35. And yeah, 35 carries, 200 plus yards is still impressive, but it just didn't wow me. I watched him run. I watched film. I was like, yeah, I mean, the guy's good, but I've seen better, not just in the past couple of years, but this year. And the bottom line is, and he says in the NFL, the running back position is so dispensable. I already know what people are going to say. Well, Matt, before I get into that, let me address this. All right. College football, not people like me and you probably, if you're watching this video, you're probably not a casual, but most of your casuals got exposed tonight. They had their hopes, so that's, oh yeah, Jeanty's going to show everyone against Penn State why he should have won the Heisman. I don't know if they thought they were going to see a Herschel Walker type of performance where this guy's just quite literally running over everybody, or some Barry Sanders-esque juking out everybody, but it's not any of that. Jeanty, he doesn't have a big bag. He doesn't have a lot of moves. He's just bigger, stronger than a lot of people out west, and he is faster. But against SEC competition, and I already know, here we go, Matt, talking about the SEC. Calm down, buddy. You know what I'm talking about. Again, we're not making this a Big Ten SEC debate video, so don't even do that in the comment section. But against SEC defenses and even Big Ten defenses, if you were to stick Jeanty in the Big Ten or SEC this year, he ain't getting more than, I don't even know if he gets 1, but I know he's not getting more than 2 200-yard games, even with 30 carries, 35 carries. It just wouldn't happen. And I'm going to go back to this, give him credit. He is a good running back, but nothing special. And tonight validated all those claims I've been saying all year long, because he had not 1, but 2. He had 2 fumbles in the first 20 minutes of the game. Now, does a player fumbling a football mean he's a bust? No. But what it does go to show you, he ain't used to guys like, or guys from Penn State knocking him around. So, I don't know what more to say. I don't want to continue to just, I'm not trying to berate him. It's just more so that I'm beyond sick and tired of all these people trying to act like Ashton Jeanty is some marvelous run. They acting like this is some, you want to talk about ball knowledge. I'm about to put some, this is ball knowledge. Okay, I'll leave it at this. They were acting like all year long, Ashton Jeanty was like Marcus Dupree. If you know, you know. You want to, I mean, you talking, and maybe that's why my perception's skewed a little bit, because I've watched film and I've seen some of the best running backs of all time. Now, Jeanty had one of the best seasons you're ever going to see, if you're looking at the stats. But if you're just talking about best running backs all time, he ain't even close. He ain't even sniffing it. Like I said, he wasn't even the best running back in college football this year. You can make an argument and say that, oh, Cam Scatterboo's better than him. I ain't got a problem with that. Scatterboo even said it himself. Long story short, Jeanty severely overrated. Moving along into the next topic, what I was about to get into, because I already know Timothy and Bobby, I see you. I can smell you. You run to the comment section. Hold your horses, partner. But Matt, nobody's going to look good when the offensive line's not blocking. Look at Leonard Fournette. He had 20-something yards against Alabama, and he was one of the best backs in the nation. That is a great point. But here's my rebuttal. And I'm going to go back to this. Jeanty isn't anything special. He's not. Was the offensive line doing him any favors tonight? I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't think they were that bad. It's not like the plays were getting blown up time after time after time. Penn State's got a good defense, but they ain't like that Bama defense that shut down Leonard Fournette. And I think Jeanty still wound up with like 30-something carries, 100 yards, but that's all he is. If he played in the SEC or Big Ten, that's all he would do, and you can't change my mind. And it's not even like I'm telling you I'm right, you're wrong. No, I'm just telling you how it is. It's the reality of the situation. That's all I'm going to say about Jeanty. I do want to touch on that a little bit because it's a big topic, trending everywhere. Moving along here to the game itself. Although Penn State, I think the score's deceiving. They won by 17. I thought it was a pretty dang good game. I enjoyed watching it. Of course I'm going to enjoy watching it. I'm a college football fan. But I mean, I really enjoyed watching it. And for a second there, I thought, hey, Boise State might pull this one off. First quarter, bad. I mean, I thought for a second it could have been a blowout. Penn State, they go up 14-0. And you got to, I'm going to do this actually, clap it up to Boise State. It'd have been easy to curl up in a ball and say, oh yeah, we had a good season, but we're playing a big dog here. But no, they didn't do that. They actually bounced back. After 2 Jeanty fumbles, they recovered one of them and scored a touchdown, cut it to 14-7. I think that was on like a fullback dive or something. They pushed me into the end zone. I was like, all right, let's play some ball, like that one kid in the Sandlot said. And at halftime, it was only as bad as Boise. I mean, think about this. 2 fumbles, you're not really moving the ball. 17-7 at half, and it kind of felt like Penn State was clicking there. Yeah, I'd take a nice little 10-point, not lead, but 10-point, what's the word I'm looking for here? 10-point, not deciment. Come on, Matt. What's the word I'm thinking of here? I'm trying to think of this word. A 10-point, I don't even know what I'm trying to think of, but you get what I'm saying. You're trailing by 10 at half, all right? I was trying to think of the word, drawing a blank. Open up the third quarter, boom, get the nice touchdown. Penn State responds. But the play of the game, what was the score? Hold on. What was the score? The play of the game, it's Madsen. Oh, yeah, he had 3 interceptions, by the way. Yeah, he was struggling reading the defense. He was getting tricked all day long. The score was, 24-14. I'm just double checking here. 24-14. Madsen throws a very nice pass. Touchdown! Boise State, the Fighting Ashton Jeantys, they have cut it to 3, but hold on! Just like Lee Corso says. Not so fast, my friend. There is a laundry on the field. Yellow laundry, to be exact. A good old flaggeroonie. Offensive lineman, it wasn't like he did it egregiously for 5 seconds. Got his hands underneath the Penn State lineman's helmet. And, that's the good old-fashioned hands to the face. And I hated it so much. I hated it for the game. I hated it for Boise State and those flags suck. Because it didn't have any impact on the play. By the time that the Boise State offensive lineman had the hands to the face or like under his neck area, the quarterback was already releasing the ball. So it wasn't one of those things where like him holding the guy or something actually helped the play and benefited. No. That had zero outcome on the play, and that would have made it a really good game. Penn State probably would have been pressing a little bit. It would have cut it to 3. I think there was like 4 minutes to go in the third quarter, so we'll just say late in the third quarter. We got us a ball game heading to the fourth, and you know Penn State would have been feeling the pressure. Boise State. Now, if you'd have told Boise State before the game, you're going to be trailing by 3 late in the third quarter, they say, yep, I'll take that. Instead, touchdown wiped off the board. You're down 10. Madsen, he forces one. They were still kind of in field goal range. No, not kind of. They were in field goal range. Madsen forces one, turns it to interception. And when he threw that pick, I was like, yeah, game over. Although technically the game wasn't over, you could just, I felt the momentum shift. Because you went from a 3-point ball game, should have been a touchdown, to you're down 10, Penn State picks you off, and they're probably going to go down and score. And nothing really happened after that until Singleton busted off that. I believe it was a 53, 54-yarder to be exact. And that was your final score, 31-14. And yeah, that was it. I do, like I said, think the score was and is deceiving. I thought Boise State played a pretty solid game, all things considered. Jeanty was contained. He had 2 fumbles. Madsen had 3 interceptions. Holy crap, I didn't even think about that. Your star running back had 2 fumbles. Your quarterback had 3 interceptions, and you were actually in the game. Who knows what would have happened if Boise State would have took care of the football? And that's what gets these, I guess you could call it, Cinderella teams, or teams that aren't as good as your Penn States and Ohio States and Georgia's and whoever, Oregon's in the playoff. It's not that they can't beat Penn State. The differential in most of these games at any level, even in NFL, isn't who makes the most great plays. It's who messes up the least is probably going to be the winner. Think about it. Penn State didn't do anything insane in this game. They just didn't mess up as much, therefore they won. Let's write down some stats, and we'll end off this video, guys. And I will see you, guess what? We're going to do 3 videos tomorrow. We got the Texas game. Well, I don't even care if it's a blowout. We'll do a video for that. I think y'all want to see that. I don't know. Let me know in the comment section. Might not if it's really bad, because nobody wants to see a reaction if the game's ugly. Then we got Georgia, and you know we're going to be reacting to the little bro Ohio State. So coming back tomorrow. But yeah, let's wrap up this video, show y'all some of the stats. All right, here was one of your biggest difference makers. By the way, if you are curious, Jeanty had 30 carries for 104 yards to be exact, as when I was looking at the box score. Sometimes those numbers can change a little bit. Madsen on the day, 23-35, not bad, 304. That's also pretty good. He had a high QBR. It was like in the 80s, which is kind of weird when I show you this. 1 tutty, 2, not 1, not 2, but 3 INTs. I don't know why I'm so close to y'all. We can back it up a little bit. There we go. Yeah, he threw the ball well. It's just the interceptions. Those are hard to overcome, too. One of those was later in the game. Allar, this is what I'm talking about. Didn't do anything crazy. 13 for 25, that ain't great. 171, that ain't great, but here's the kicker. And you'll notice I wrote down first. 0 interceptions, took care of the ball. And we'll do a comma here. Not 1, not 2, but 3 tutties. Story of the game, man. And they shut down Jeanty. And when you shut down Jeanty and you make Madsen go out there and try to beat you, that's not when Boise State is at their best. That's not their game. And Penn State, you got to clap up to them for making Boise State uncomfortable. And guys, that's really all there is to be said about this. Penn State's the better team. The game went exactly how I thought. I didn't think Boise State was going to get blown out, but I also didn't think, oh, my camera's about to die. I got to hurry up. I didn't think Penn State was going to completely beat them by 30. Many more things I could say. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Let me know your thoughts down below. But